So to all the funkes of the world, welcome to our second podcast.
I hope you're having a colorful afternoon or morning or night or whatever the hell you're watching this. And today we're talking about, drum rolls, why are men so selfish?
That's a question for the ages at this point.
I still don't know the answer, but we'll try and figure it out.
We will.
And I hope some of y'all write in the comments, because I am still very confused.
I mean, again, it's probably comes down to how they were socialized, right?
The thing is from what I read, it could be a mix of both.
A mix of well, let's narrow it down. Like, we're talking about specifically African men.
Well, we're gonna talk. It's all men,
but
it's specifically in the context of African men. There's a reason why they're more selfish.
Yes,
we're not attacking you.
But we are.
Let's I'm not attacking, because I really want us all to understand what it is. So that we can work together and fix it. Because when black men feel like they're being attacked, they don't improve. They just go, y'all are all lying. You're doing the most. I'm not like this. It's not what we're trying to do. And also, we need to define selfishness. Because in one of the articles I was reading, this guy was talking about how when his wife told him he was selfish, he didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Because his idea of selfish were like big things. Like, for example, she'd be pregnant and then he'd just walk out the house and leave her there. Like that's not selfish. That's just unthoughtful and rude. That's not what we mean. And then he realized that his selfishness was mostly in subtle ways. Yeah. I.e., he gave the example that one day his wife told him to take a pause because he was working, so that they could eat dinner early, so that the kid could go to sleep. Yeah. And so that they could have a silent moment before they go to sleep. Okay. That where he could finish his work and she could watch her TV. So right here she was thinking about everyone's well-being. And he said, I was sitting there doing my job and all I could think of is, I want to finish this now.
I don't care
what she's saying.
Yeah.
And he said once I sat down and thought about it for a second, I was like, wow, I was actually being selfish. Because she was thinking of everyone in that situation and I was just thinking of myself.
Of course.
And he's saying that's what men need to think about. Our selfishness, their selfishness, shows itself in very subtle ways.
It is very subtle, and it's like it comes down to, well, at least for me, it comes down to like my time. I don't mind, someone having like, yes, if we're together, like, yes, you have some entitlement to my time, but not all the time, right? There has to be some level of like, no, if I'm doing something or there's something important to me, you can't just try to manipulate me into not doing it. Right. That doesn't make any sense.
I.e., what brought this conversation.
Like, if I'm doing something really important, especially something that's for my future.
It's not if you were doing something important.
It's for my future.
She was doing a project that is worth 35% of her grade. Okay? And this man texts her at what time? 11?
11.
12?
Yes, 12, 11.
To be like, hey, come over. And she's like, I
have a paper.
I have a paper due.
And I need to write it.
And this man is like, but no, just come, I'll Uber you.
And I'm like, I don't want to Uber at all.
It has nothing to do with that. I need to do my work. And he was like, no, but you can work from here.
And I'm like, we're not going to be working if I go there. No, but do you
see? The thing is, he knew you weren't going to be working. Because then when you asked him why he wanted you to come, he went, I miss you, and then I'm horny.
So it's like...
So just, this was selfish.
It is, and the worst thing is, like, I know he's being selfish, but I still felt bad. Even when we ended the call, I still felt like, wait, I don't want him to be mad at me or to feel some type of way about me, but it's not my fault. It's literally not my fault. And that's what I'm saying,
is that they feel entitled to your time. They manipulate you into giving up on stuff that is important to you, and then still find a way amidst all of that to make you feel bad about it.
And it's like, I don't want to seem like I'm overreacting or anything like that if I bring it up again, because it's like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. I know, I get it. I'm fine. But at that moment, you still did what you did. That was still very manipulative.
And that's what they all do. And then they tell you, and they gaslight you into thinking that you are overreacting.
Like, it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that serious. You know, he didn't do that, but I'm just saying, like, that I've had this experience before where it's like, you're trying to guilt me into coming to see you. This happened before again. On a separate occasion where I was like, it's really late. It is too late for me to go outside. Why are you calling me at this time? And he's like, no, I missed you. Did you sent me a very rare text, so I'm just trying to check up on you. I'm just trying to do this stuff.
If you're trying to check up on me, then come over. Why would you want to check up on me, but then I have to go see you for you to check up on me? That doesn't make any sense.
And like, my first instinct was like, no. And then he's like, no, I even bought you McDonald's. I did all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll come see you. And what did he want? Sex. He did not want to check up on me. He just wanted sex.
And it was like a trade-off thing. Like, I brought you fries. Let's have sex.
So I'm like, what?
And that's what I'm saying though, is that it shows in subtle ways. And it's small things like that. And it's not just guys who you date. It's just guys in your everyday life. Like, I've had men be angry who I was not dating, did not try to date, asked for my social media, and again, I was in a situation where I was alone, or I was in a place where I didn't know if I said no, what would happen to me. And men don't understand this. They're like, I was not threatening you. It's like, I don't know that.
I don't know you, period.
Some men switch up when they don't get what they want with the speed. Yes. The proof is that girl from Toronto, who a guy, like, whistled, he can't call her, she ignored him, and he followed her to her car and then choked her to death.
And raped her.
And I'm
in her car.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you don't understand that when we're alone in the streets and it's night and you ask me for my number on my social media, I'm gonna give it to you, not because I like you, but because terrified. I could be in danger.
I am terrified.
And even though you know that you are not dangerous, I don't know that. It takes one man
to just ruin it for
every other man. That's just as simple as it is, and we can't do anything about it because the point is we are in danger regardless because we don't know. Anyways, the point is, I gave this man my social media because I don't give my phone number. And he was texting me all the time. And when I don't answer, it's, why aren't you answering? Why are you so rude? I texted you and it took you like 6 hours to answer. And I'm like, who are you? Or
it's like, I know for me, I double text. I double text all the time. But I would be like, hey, hello, what's going on? But I would never, ever, ever in my entire life tell someone, oh, so you're ignoring my calls or you're ignoring my texts. I hate that.
The thing is, you know me. I'm a bad texter.
I don't like when people say that. I know I'm the type of person who like I like the attention. I want you to text me all the time. But the moment that you say you're ignoring me now, or so you're ignoring me now when I don't respond back to you.
But it's not that you're ignoring me. It's the fact that they're angry, like they are owed your time.
I'm lending you my time. This is borrowed. Where's your library card, bitch? It's declined. It's been declined.
It's ridiculous. Or another trait of selfishness. Yeah. When you're nice to them. Oh yeah. Just regular nice. And what they don't understand is, again, we were socialized to be nice. To everyone.
Always have a smile on your face. Always smile.
Like,
don't frown.
I don't know a man who's ever been told, oh, you're so handsome, you should smile more. I know plenty of girls. I don't know that I've met a girl who hasn't been told this at some point in her life. You're so pretty, you should smile more. Because everyone expects us to be nice. And then you're nice, and then they like you. And it's like, I wasn't trying to make you like me, nor do I like you. And it's your responsibility now to deal with my feelings because you were nice to me.
No, it's not, bitch. No, it's not. It is not. And it's such a thin line because when you're mean to them, like, oh, you're a rude bitch. You're so stuck up. You're so this. But if you're nice, you're like, oh, you like me, right? We're together, right? Let's start having sex. I'm like,
where?
Pick a side. Pick a fucking side. I'm so confused. I'm like, some random guys would text me on Instagram being like, hey, hello, let's get to know each other. I'm like, nigga, who are you? Who are you? And if I give them attitude, like, oh, why are you giving me so much attitude? Why are you so mean? I'm like, nigga, am I supposed to be nice
to you? I don't know you.
But if I'm nice to you, you're thinking like, oh, you're leading me on. You're playing games. So I'm like, pick a side.
But that's what I'm saying. Pick a fucking side. That's the thing, though, with the selfishness, is that they feel like they're owed everything. And when you tell them this, you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, but no, think about it. you feel like you're owed a lot of things. And you will try to convince me into your warped idea of what I should do with my life.
Exactly.
For it to fit what you want. I told you this. A lot of the guys who try and date me don't just want to date. They want to marry. And I'm like, I'm not getting married anytime soon because I'm studying. And even if I was married, I don't want you. But you know what? You're not
that's a whole different story.
That's a whole different story. But the point is, I'm not getting married. And what they'll try to do is convince you that you can study and be married and have children. And all of it is going. And they'll draw out this whole plan on how this could work. And then if you go, no, sometimes just to mess with them, I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Let me call up on the guy who I actually like and let's make this work. What? Just start getting angry. I'm like, I thought you were just thinking of the best for me. But the only reason you're drawing this whole picture is because you want me for you. And if you don't care if that's going to jeopardize my future or my life.
Exactly.
But that's why I'm coming back to like this idea that I don't know if it's the way they were socialized.
It's the way they were socialized, because you know what? I'm realizing this. It really comes down to consent. It comes down to consent. What does no mean?
No.
What does yes mean?
Yes.
No does not mean fucking convince me. It does not mean that. But they still think, because they're told, again, if a girl says no, keep chasing her. Keep trying to get her.
Well, that's the movies.
Exactly.
That gave him this false idea that
but also I've seen my mom, bless her heart, but I've seen her tell that to my brother to keep on chasing her. The girls are just playing hard to get. I'm like, no.
But the thing is, I know girls who do this stuff.
Yes, there are girls who do, but I'm telling you, a lot of the time,
when they say no, they mean no.
They mean no, especially if it's for a very valid reason.
Even if the reason doesn't seem valid to you, if a woman says no, please pack your stuff and walk away.
The door. The exit sign.
But what I'm saying is, it's not just the way they're socialized too. The reason why I was actually thinking of the possibility that it has to do with also hormones is because women become more selfish after menopause. Like, they've seen that women start learning to put themselves first
after menopause,
usually after 40 and 50. And the men become the opposite. So as their estrogen levels go up, they start to care more about family and making sure everyone is okay.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? But the point is, for me, even if it was hormonal or it had something to do with your brain, socialization also plays a big role, and we're going to go into that. But even then, as humans, what makes us humans is our capacity to fight off our impulses.
Yes.
That's what makes us human. It's our capacity to say, this is what I want to do right now. If you feel like peeing in the middle of the street, you're not just going to squat and pee. That's what a dog would do.
I mean...
What are you going to do? You're going to hold it in until you go to a place where you can pee. So next time you want to have sex and a girl says no, you hold it in until you get to somewhere where you can make it happen. It's as simple as that. I've heard men live in high school say, if I'm having sex with a woman and we're halfway into it and she says no, I'm going to keep on going.
What is that? What is that? You know what that is? Rape.
And they're like, well, she said yes. How are you going to say yes?
At that moment, that is rape. That's no longer sex. That is rape.
But they won't hear that. They'll be like, she said yes up until this point. So what are you going to do?
I'm like, I always tell people this. I'm like, even in science, anytime you're doing a study where you have human experiments, they can say no at any point. Even on the very last day to the very last fucking second. They can say no. And the experiment stops.
But again, that's where it comes back to selfishness. I want this. I can get it right now. I will get it. And that's why the percentage of men who cheat is astronomically higher than women who cheat.
We're not saying women don't cheat.
We're saying the number of men who cheat is astronomically higher.
It's through the roof. It's in the
women.
stars.
It's like a good 90-something%. And men are the ones who rape men and rape women. So that comes back to this idea of selfishness. But it doesn't mean that... I'm not saying that men who are selfish are rapists. No. We're not saying this. Because I'm saying also the selfishness shows itself in very subtle ways.
Different ways.
Sometimes. But what I'm saying is, when we do something or when we ask you to do something, we're always trying not to bother.
Yes.
it's always,
like,
are
I'm
you
always,
okay?
Yes, I always
do you have
myself,
time?
Like, apologizing, like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm
do
so
you have
sorry,
some time?
I couldn't do this.
Are
for
you going out? Like, and the moment you say, "Oh, I'm busy" or something, we leave your space. We're like, "Oh, okay, good," until you have time.
Exactly.
You guys will try to insist and manipulate, even when you know. And I think it's also that's what that man was accepting. He's like, in that moment, we're not even capable of thinking about you. Like because the way I'm like, do you hear yourself when you say that? The consequence that could have on me when you tell me to come to your place and I have something that is due, that is a grade that could be low and that could affect my possible future. What they're saying is men who actually have the beeps to sit down and actually think after the action will tell you in that moment they weren't even considering
anything that
the impacts that could have on you. All they're thinking is, I want this right now.
You know what the funny thing is? I remember I had this conversation with my brother like quite a while ago, because he said I'm too passive. I'm way too passive. But I realized, like, no, I'm thoughtful. I'm not. I know I'm passive in some ways, but I'm very thoughtful. He's like, every time you ask for something, you always ask me like, are you busy? Because he would pick me up from work in the summer, and I would call him and be like, hey, what are you up to? What are you doing? I wouldn't just say, hey, come pick me up. I would say, hey, what are you doing? I would ask him what he's doing first, and if he's busy. Then if he says no, then I'm going to ask him, can you pick me up? And it's like, just say, can you pick me up? Don't do all this passive stuff.
But you know what a man would do? Hey, can you pick me up? No, I'm kind of busy. Can't you do this or do that? And try to reschedule your life so that you can come and pick me up. I'm like, I don't, what? But that's what I'm saying, is that in one way, I know that part of it is either genetics or hormones, because the roles do switch the older we get. But most of it is the way you guys were socialized. And it takes you sitting down and acknowledging that more often than not, you don't think of others, but you only think of yourself, which is the definition of selfishness. Legit. That's why most caretakers for elderly are their daughters. Are women. Women are the ones who take care of their children, their husband's family sometimes, their own family. There's a guy who was like, when a woman meets your family, especially in an African setting, she's expected to offer to help. Cook. And clean. And if there are babies in the house, to babysit. But if a man comes to the girl's house, he's treated like a prince. Like, do you want some water? Do you want to be comfortable? He's not expected to help.
Pillows. Even.
They're not expected to help in any other way. And men will tell you, well, I'm expected to give money. In this reality that we live in, you're not expected to do that anymore.
Nope.
Because the reality is a lot of us make more money. But you stayed in that reality where now you don't owe money anymore, but you still deserve the treatment
of a king.
For what?
For scraps.
Who are you? And my mom has this very fun way of saying this. My mom just says, is it harder to give birth to a man compared to a female? And I was like, no. So he's like, so I was on that table and gave birth to my daughter and suffered the same pain you suffered on that table when you gave birth to your son. And my daughter will suffer for your son. You're funny. You are funny.
Hilarious.
You're hilarious.
Bobo the clown. At this point.
Like, what?
But yeah.
But in black men, let me explain to you, because some black men don't understand this. And one time someone told me something and I was so mad. You know when you're so shocked, you don't even know where to start? You know what he told me? He said, you guys have more time to have good grades because you're not expected to do anything home.
Oh. Which home? Ask him which house is he talking about? No. I don't know which house he's talking about.
But the thing is, when he said that, my heart dropped. I didn't know what to say. Because I had tears in my eyes. I was like, hold on, sir. Hold on. I need a moment to internalize this. Do you know how to cook?
Clean.
He was like, do you know how to clean? Do you know how to change a diaper? Do you know how to take care of a kid? He was like, no. He's like, you know I do, right? And he was like, yes. And I'm like, how do you think I learned? From my bed? Every single time my ass was lying on a bed doing nothing, my mom was like, hello?
Why you do nothing?
Come clean the bathroom.
Come
the
cook.
windows.
Come
the,
do
the,
this.
the walls.
Come do that.
Random ass places in the house, I'm cleaning. If we're at my grandparents' house and there's a baby crying, who will they tell? Can you go change his diapers? Have you ever...
Him? You? Or her? Which one?
Have you ever been asked to clean something? When there was a woman in the vicinity? Or to take care of a baby? So this treatment that they're used to having as kings, I'm sitting here, no one bothers me, I do whatever the hell I want. If I want something, I need to manipulate to get it, makes them selfish. Now, what we're telling you, because these are us showing you small ways you're usually selfish. All we're asking from you is to sit down, and even if you don't realize it in the moment where you do it,
reflect.
After, when we get mad at you, even if we don't get mad at you, but we're like mildly irritated. Sit down and think about it. What was she thinking about when she asked me to do X, Y, or Z? And what was I thinking about? And if what you're thinking about, if you're truly being honest, was only you, you know you're being selfish, and all we're asking you is to be men, own up to it, and learn how to fix it. Because it isn't fair. And you wouldn't want that for your daughter. Nope. You don't want that for your mother, even though she probably already went through it. And you don't want that for future generations.
So at this point, just open up your minds and open up your hearts.
And teach yourselves. Like, have the consciousness, because most of the articles I was reading, it was a lot of men who were just very honest.
That's why I always say to everyone now, self-reflection is the best thing you can do for yourself. Everyone, no matter what, always self-reflect. When you self-reflect, you realize all the fucked up shit you done, and all the fucked up that has happened to you in your life.
Yes, and you realize that because for us, we realize that we were programmed to be given and helpful and making sure that everyone is okay. Because when we don't do it, people notice. Yep. I've had cousins come out from a place. Well, this aunt was there. She served everyone food except for us. What made you think you were entitled to her serving you food? Couldn't you go get your own food? But if a girl was in that setting, she wouldn't even fathom the idea of asking a dude, go make some food for me. Or put some food on a plate for me and bring it to me. So all I'm saying is, always think about it when you're being stubborn. So when a girl's like, hey, I can't do this. Or no, I won't do this. Or hey, come help with this. And you're being stubborn. Think about it. Are you being selfish? And stop right there.
Thank you.